Good morning dear students and welcome back in our video lecture with new topic carbon and its compounds. So students, from today we are going to start our schedule number 7 and this is only one topic in schedule number 7. So what is carbon? So in our surrounding many elements are there. How many elements are there in our surrounding? Yes, total 118 elements are there, and out of this 118 elements some are metals, some are non-metals and some are metalloids. All these points we have discussed. So when you observe this periodic table is based on atomic number. So what is atomic number? Atomic number means number of protons or number of electrons present in an atom. So when we observe this periodic table, on sixth position you will get this carbon atom. It indicates that carbon has atomic number 6. So electronic configuration of carbon is 2,4. To become stable, this carbon atom either take, give or share electrons. But what happen in case of carbon? Though it has only 2 shares, larger amount of energy is required to give these 4 electrons, and we have discussed about this. It is not possible to give this much electrons, and that's why carbon will not give these 4 electrons to become stable. Second thing is it can become stable by taking electrons. But what happen in case of carbon? It is also not possible to hold 10 electrons excess, 10 electrons with nucleus having 6 protons. That's why carbon will not take 4 electrons to become stable. Then what will carbon do to become stable? Carbon will share 4 electrons and become stable. And so what is valency of carbon? It requires 4 electrons to become stable. That's why valency of carbon is 4. So tetravalency or tetravalent, it is the most important property of carbon. Tetra means 4 and valent means valency. So carbon has valency 4. So it is called tetravalent and it is the most important and unique property of carbon. Then second unique property of carbon is catenation. So what is catenation? Just now I told you valency of carbon is 4 and that's why it can become stable by sharing electrons. So as it share electrons, it can form number of compounds with other elements which are present in our surrounding. And also carbon can form bond with another carbon atom, means it can form carbon-carbon bond. That bond may be single bond, double bond or triple bond, but carbon can join or carbon can share electrons with other carbon atom and it will form long chain of polymer, and that property of forming long chain of carbon atom is called catenation. So it is also one of the important property of carbon. So when we just observe in our surrounding, the amount of carbon present in our surrounding, that is in earth crust, it is present 0.03% and in atmosphere 0.02%. So the amount is too small. Though the amount is too small, it has large it has very means it is very important in our day-to-day life. Why? Because of these two properties, tetravalency and catenation. Because of catenation, carbon form many compounds in our surrounding. So in how means in nature this carbon occurs in both free state as well as in combined state. So what is the meaning of this name carbon? So carbon is derived from Latin word carbo, and carbo means coal. So this material is composed of primarily carbon. Coal is coal is primarily composed of carbon. That's why it is called carbon. So in nature, this carbon occurs in both free states as well as in combined state. So in free state, carbon is found in the form of diamond, graphite and coal. And in combined state, this carbon is found in the form of hydrocarbons. So what are the examples of hydrocarbons? Alkane, alkyne, alkene, petrol, natural gas, methane, butane and so on. Methane, butanes are alkenes. Then minerals means minerals in soil like limestone, marble, sandstone, chalk, etc. Carbonate and bicarbonate in water, and carbon dioxide in atmosphere, and also in plants and animals body this carbon is found in the form of proteins, carbohydrates, fats and vitamins. So though it is present in free form, means in the atmosphere and in earth crust in small quantity, it is present widely, just spread through in our body also and in our surrounding also. So it has a lot of importance. Then this carbon means just amount of carbon, or this carbon in our surrounding, in plants, animals, it just maintained by the process of carbon cycle. Then when how to identify uh, the carbon is present in our surrounding. So students, in our surrounding, when we burn anything and then black residual form, then that material consists of, or it is composed of carbon. That black material is nothing but carbon. So almost all things when we burn, then it will leads to formation of black residue. Means almost all things in our surrounding are made up of carbon. So mainly these compounds are classified into two types: organic compounds and inorganic compounds. So what is mean by organic compound? The compounds which are mainly composed of carbons are called organic, and the compounds in which means that do not have carbon are called inorganic compounds. Means examples of organic compounds are hydrocarbons, means alkane, alkene, alkyne, alcohol, acid, sugar, because the main component of this compound is carbon. Then carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbonate, carbide, these are examples of inorganic compounds. Then student, means one more question is there. Carbon dioxide consists of carbon, then why it is called inorganic? Because in carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, zinc carbonate, calcium bicarbonate, sodium bicarbonate, carbon is not a main component. They have carbon, but it is not main component like in hydrocarbon, and that's why these are called inorganic compounds. Got it, student? What is the basic difference between organic and inorganic? If the main component of that compound is carbon, then they are called organic, and if they do not have carbon as a main component, then they are called inorganic compound. Then this carbon, one point is there, that is allotropy. So what is mean by allotropy? When an element can exist in more than one structural form in the same physical state, then that property is called allotropy. Means in our surrounding many elements are there, and because of their different structural arrangement, they just exist in different forms, but they are chemically same but physically different, and that elements are called allotropes of each other. So carbon has this property of allotropy. So what are the allotropes of carbon which are present in our surrounding? These are diamond, graphite, coal, wood, coke, gas carbon, animal charcoal, lamp black. These are different allotropes of carbon. So we will just study them one by one in detail. But what are the reasons for this allotropy? Why these allotropes are formed? So first reason behind formation of allotropy is when these elements, when these they are just formed naturally or artificially, that time a different amount of energy is associated with each form during its preparation. So how much energy is associated? It results in different forms of color, that element. Second reason for allotropy is different methods by which each form is prepared. And third reason is different atomic arrangement in the molecules of each of them. So when we just study each form of carbon, then that time you will get idea about their structural arrangement. Their structural arrangement means how these atoms are just bounded with each other. Means pentagonal, hexagonal, different types of arrangements are there. So how they are just arranged with each other, that structure leads to formation of allotropes. Okay, so this is about allotropy. So allotropic forms of carbon, carbon exists mainly in two allotropic forms: crystalline form and non-crystalline form. Non-crystalline form is also called as amorphous form. So in the crystalline form, the atoms of carbons are arranged in an ordered manner, and in the amorphous form or non-crystalline form of carbon, the atoms are arranged haphazardly. So what is mean by haphazardly? Means there is no spatial particular arrangement of that atoms. They can just randomly arrange with each other, and that's why they have no particular structure. That's then a particular structure. Crystals are not formed, so that's why they are called amorphous. The normal example is when you just observe structure of sugar. it has particular structure, so it is crystalline form. Then what about that any or what salt? Salt is also crystalline, but any powdered form, soot, it is a form of carbon. So it is a amorphous form. It has not particular structure. So diamond and graphite are the two crystalline forms of carbon, whereas lamp black soot, charcoal, coal derived fuel, and called coke are the amorphous forms of carbon. So what are the allotropes of carbon? Allotropes of carbon are mainly of two types, crystalline and amorphous. What are the examples of crystalline allotropes? Diamond and graphite, and amorphous coal, then wood charcoal, coke, gas carbon, animal charcoal, and lamp black. So tomorrow we will discuss one by one these allotropes of carbon. I hope you got points related to that structure of carbon, means what is mean by organic compound, what is mean by inorganic compound, how this carbon exists in nature, what is its valency, how it becomes stable, tetravalency, catenation. So if you have any doubt in this, you can ask me. Thank you.